Morning, everyone. Shabbat Tov. So we're starting today with Hashem Siman Reish Nun Zayin in Hilchot Shabbat. A little bit of a tough subject, but we'll try to. And it's a little bit long, but we'll limit it to what's necessary and applicable for today. These are the halachot of what's called in Hebrew Hatmana, which is insulation. So a classic thing would be, let's say, a person has a dafina, has a chamin, and back in the day, if it's going to be on the fire the whole time, it might burn. So they would, maybe you've seen this with the grandmothers and things like that. They would insulate it with maybe like blankets, put blankets around the dafina. There's also types of insulation where they would put it into the ground after it was fully cooked. They put it to retain its heat. So we'll go. So there's applications for today. Is number one is maybe the same type of thing. Can you put blankets around or towels around your dafina to keep it warm? We also have, let's say, pouring water in a thermos, where a thermos is an insulated type of cup. You're using a thermos right now, right? So it's an insulated type of cup. Can I put hot water in that on Shabbat? Now the thing is, Minat Torah, there's no issue with insulating. It's midirabanan. It's a rabbinic guard, because what happens is that I have this item that's hot. I want to keep it insulated, and if I now come to insulate it, I'm gonna maybe realize that it's not so warm as I want it to be, and I might come and stoke a fire, put a fire on, and I might actually violate. Therefore, don't touch it. And now we'll see, because there's this kind of like an intro shiur. There is types of things that you could insulate with, which is called mosif hevel and eno mosif hevel. Mosif hevel means increases the heat, and eno mosif hevel means it doesn't increase the heat, it just keeps the heat as is. So actually blankets and towels keep the heat as is. It doesn't add heat. But other items, and the Shulchan Aruch goes through interesting items where even could be like maybe, let's say, earth, or maybe talks about like crushed olives, or things that where it could maybe acidic, or it could give off more heat even to the so you put that, if you put that around, it could even add heat. So there's two types of categories: things that add heat, things that don't add heat. But other applications would be, let's say you have a hot water urn for Shabbat, and people have they even make them in the stores like a wool, or like a Sefer Torah cover, a cover on the hot water urn. Or if you have a teapot, and now I want to pour tea, so I want to get like a cover for the tea, so people shouldn't burn themselves, but it's also keeping it insulated. Another example is things that we have to talk about is actually a crock pot, where the crock pot is insulated around, it's being cooked not just on the bottom, but insulated around, but here it's really a different category, because this is a cooking item. So there's going to be talking about insulating items that are on the fire. It's on the fire, that's the greatest heat source. So can I insulate when it's still in the fire? Or what about insulating when it's off the fire? So that's another type of category. So this is just kind of like a pticha, where we're going to be talking about the laws of insulating. And a last category is Hatmana b'miktzat. Okay, I'm not going to be insulating fully, but partially. Where actually the crock pot is that case, because it's partially, and the whole top is exposed. Okay, there's a lid, but there's not an additional cover to it. So that's definitely more lenient, and also the one that's not mosif hevel, where like we said, let's say clothing or towels, which doesn't add heat, that's more lenient than something that actually does add heat. So it's another category. So hopefully we'll get to clarify these situations. So I left it a little bit unclear, but just to give you some to what this is talking about, and some practical cases that are applicable, and hopefully we'll get a clarity over the next coming days, B'ezrat Hashem, in these vast laws of the laws of Hatmana, as it's again a safeguard the Chachamim put, so we don't come to stoke the fire and actually cook on Shabbat. Okay, that's that for today. A little bit of an intro. Mincha tonight and all week long is going to be at 5:55. So remember the three chamsas. You can remember that 5:55. This morning, following tefillah, we're going to be going to. If anyone could come at 10 a.m. to Bathurst Lawn for Mr. David Wiesman Alav Shalom, the unveiling of the stone, and at 12:45 at Pardesh Shalom in the Tiferet Israel section for the Nachala of Mrs. Shirley Malkias' father. If anyone could come, that would be greatly appreciated.